The 5th through 8th graders at Forestview Middle School in the after-school STEM class had a great opportunity to come visit the robotics program at Brandon High School. The class was put on by Mr. Reed, a multimedia teacher at Forestview. Here's a video of the demonstration we put on for the middle school kids. We also had a CNC machine brought over by CLC, and Nick Reed showed the kids some soldering on a sign we were making.
These controllers and so forth, but we have a battery that's in the back, and but everything else we had to manufacture, and we had only 6 weeks to build it. So we were here every day after school from January 4th from about 3:30 to about 5:30, 6 o'clock, and then every weekend we were here on Saturday from 9 to roughly 1 to 2 o'clock. And so what we've got here is when they enable it, we've got a programmer. Chris is our programmer, and you guys can check out the program. And it's the same for all of the teams. And we've got like an onboard computer right here. And we download our code to it so that we can just kind of run. Very similar to what you guys are doing with your little devices, your programming. It's a little bit more complicated, but not much. So then what we did is we designed a gripping mechanism. So we can operate that by basically hitting a valve, and it just opens up. And the cool thing about this thing, and that's our air compressor, the cool thing about this is we can grip this down there. It's got enough force that we can raise it up without having any force up on these top edges here. Okay, so then when he opens it up, it'll fall, of course. But the object then, and we'll do some demonstrations, we're going to stack as many of these totes up here and get this guy on top of there, as you saw in the video. And if we can do that within as many totes as possible in 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Well, if we have odds on, it's 2 minutes 30, but if we don't, it's just 2 minutes.
Okay, so roughly 2 minutes. And we also, too, are going to have something where we call it autonomous. Meaning that what we're going to do is we're going to have this yellow tote over here, and it's got some reflective tape, and we're still working on it right here. But right here is a camera that we're going to be able to sense where that is. And we also have a little sensor on here that tells us how far away that the bin is. It's called an ultrasonic sensor. So we're going to come forward in autonomous only. The robot's just going to work on its own, go grab that, and we're going to hopefully move it to a different location. So as we're going, you can kind of see he's just tele-operating right now, just kind of running. And we go right over the top, and we can squeeze down on it. And we can lift it up, and we can start moving totes. Chris will do some demonstration for us. Maybe lift it up a little higher.
Uh-oh.
So we've got a pulley system, and then this down here has got a motor, and we got a winch underneath there. And we had to do some calculations to make sure that we were able to lift these boxes, but we can actually lift 3 boxes in one shot. And also a tote on top of that. Hopefully I don't get hit. He's got to go a little lower. And we had to kind of think of the weight issue. So we took this thing, actually, and we kind of bent it back a little bit, so when it raised up, it kind of pulls the weight back a little bit. And we don't have to go very far. And we're able to move that right onto another bin. And that's worth big-time points for us. If we did...
They're starting over for that. They're starting to tip,
Yep,
so
we're good.
might want to be careful.
So we got more practice out of you. That was kind of crazy, wasn't it? Okay. So a little pressure with everybody sitting here. But you're going to have all those kind of things going because you are in a time kind of a situation. What we would probably do is stack the... We'll probably stack the 3. And go ahead, Chris. We'll stack the 3, and then we'll get this over there, which is a little bit easier. We don't necessarily need to do all 4 boxes at once, and we can move these up. So we're still in the process of practice, driving, and so forth. And what we're going to do, it's a 3-on-3 competition. So we have 3 other robots that are out there with us. In our alliance, however many points that we can score.
Just open and then. Eight.
Alright, so that's big time points. If we just have that, that's worth 8 points. If you put this on top, this 8 becomes 16. And then this is another 6, so that would be 24. And if we get the pool noodle in there from off, what we want to do is we want to load that by, there'll be another team player that will bring this over to a window. There'll be a little hole that they can put the noodle in. And if we can get that in there, that'll be an additional 6 points. So the more points that you can amass, and of course, this year's a little bit different because we're not going to be interacting with other robots. We just have our team members on our side of the field. There's many years where you have to have, and you're interacting with all the other robots. Matter of fact, this is the very first year we haven't had to have that interaction. But you guys can see kind of the components and so forth, and Chris kind of can explain. There's a few of you guys that can explain the programming over there. You can go see what he's doing. But that said, anybody have any questions?
How long does your battery last?
Battery lasts, you could probably go up to a couple rounds. You know, we only have 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So, you know, we can really do that. We've got a couple of battery chargers that we'll have. And we have lots of batteries, so.
I just see the windscreen is pretty good battery.
Yeah.
The LED lights don't take anything.
No, LED lights take very little. And he's got it programmed where if there's doing different operations, different lights come on. And so, it's kind of flash. You know, we got some kind of fun things. Got a question? Yep.
Can you do it like on your own and have it just programmed?
You can autonomously, you mean? Or I mean by itself, turn it on and run by itself?
By itself, and then if you want, switch to
Yep.
you drive on
Basically, the round starts 30. There's 20 seconds of autonomous mode. So the
It's
first 20 seconds,
30 seconds.
the 30 seconds is autonomous, and then the rest of the time is teleoperated, meaning that they use either those joysticks or you could use an Xbox controller or something like that. So if you guys are good gamers, you could really have fun driving these things.
I'm a gamer.
There you go. So this is kind of a fun little project, and again, today is our bag day. So by the end of today, we have to have it in a bag. We can't work on it anymore until our competition next week. Now we're basically done. We got a few things that we want to do with it before we close it up. So we got work. We'll probably be here till a little bit later this time. So. Question, yep.
What do you do with the old ones?
Well, we'll probably hold on to this one and just kind of show it off here and there while we take them apart and start on the next one.
Yes.
Do you ever